That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
It's the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super Wild Card Weekend. It's the Browns and the Steelers on Sunday night primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to one of the most storied postseason venues in the league. Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sold out once again. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And there's really no underestimating or downplaying the incredible regular season he had throwing the football. When you throw for over 5,000 yards, that's a monster season. He's got an offense that's certainly capable of doing damage in the postseason as well. But he also understands that defense tends to win championships in the playoffs. He wants to find a way to set that aside and advance his team.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Ritter's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Holding offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. Nothing doing. Barely able to mount muster a yard to hit the 35. Ritter throwing on third down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines, the defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And this being the wild card round, he is the true wild card in this game because a rookie quarterback getting to start in the NFL postseason, that's not normal. That's a little bit on the unusual side. And there's plenty of guys who have gone into the playoffs after a very good regular season and have struggled. But there have been a few who played well. He wants to be in the latter list.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. So a great throw right there. And what a regular season this rookie had, piloting this offense, guiding them to a division title. And they get the home date here in round 1 of the playoffs. But, Charles, how do you think they'll play it here? Will they run the same kind of wide-open offense they've run all season, or do you think that they'll try and take some pressure off of the young fella?
Oh, I think they're going high, wide, and handsome in this one. I think it's all out, just as they've been doing all year long, because I think if you try and pull it back now a little bit, you're telling that young man you don't have quite as much confidence in him as you've professed. So go ahead and continue to run your offense. Do the things that got you here. As so many defensive coaches have told you and me, all gas, no brakes. Let it rip.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand. And a really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the whole bit. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
The Browns set and ready to go on offense. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They know that. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January. But, hey, here's the bottom line. There's 18 other teams that wouldn't mind being in this spot right about now.
Yeah, and you had to stick it to them, didn't you? Those 18 who are sitting at home right now. But you're exactly right about that. Your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset at this point. How do they break it down so they're not looking at this whole big road and saying to themselves, we've got no shot. You've got to break it down to this game right now. Win this one, then worry about the rest of them after this.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 20. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now here's a throw. It's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll look to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 4 yards out. And the Steelers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Final play before the half. Here's Ritter. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This, the last of our 3 games on this Sunday. One more to follow tomorrow night as we wrap up a very exciting 3 days of Super Wild Card Weekend. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC Wild Card game. And you can see the result there. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Takes it at the 7. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the running a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A first down carry for Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2nd and 11. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great play there. 46 yards. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns for the rookie in the regular season. Now he's got his first here in the playoffs.
And it shows off his big playability, too, because we saw this quite a bit in college, and it certainly continued here at the next level. Another explosive play for a guy who's made them all season long.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. First down, here's Ritter. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. But Charles, what a rookie season he had catching the football, over 1,000 yards on the year, and he comes through there with a nice grab.
And we've seen wide receivers in recent years come in and have big years right away. And you think about Justin Jefferson in 2020. 1,400 yards and huge impact on his team and on the league. This guy, he's following his footsteps as an impact guy here in year 1.
A nice run right there, and we talk this time of year about certain teams, certain players who don't have a lot of postseason history to speak of, and here's a man right here in his rookie season in the NFL, and he's being asked to carry the load at running back for this offense.
And he has acquitted himself nicely here in his rookie year, and look, I think we both believe that the burden's a little lighter on backs and receivers than it is on quarterbacks in the playoffs. But that's not to say that this is going to be easy. As fast as the NFL game is in the regular season, it's like warp speed when you turn the pressure up in the postseason. So let's see how he handles things early.
Ritter on 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On play action, here's Ritter. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by York is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
At this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ritter. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw, Ritter. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Ritter looks to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Ritter. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Bryant has it. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Ritter. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. Here's Ritter. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Back to throw. Ritter. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Ritter looking to throw it here. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
The York on now for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A 10-play drive that time. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Oh, and the tackle comes quickly. That's only going to get him a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
Plenty of chills and thrills in this one, and more to come here as overtime will decide who moves on to the divisional round from the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, CD certainly doesn't get any more exciting than this. Overtime in the postseason. Of course, keep in mind things are different than the old way it was. In the playoffs now, both teams guaranteed a possession, so a touchdown here, if they get one, the ball game will not be over.
And partners, we both know many people have called for this change before, and they finally got it after the Buffalo-Kansas City Classic in the 2022 playoffs. Patrick Mahomes and KC, they scored first. Game over. Josh Allen and Bills never touched the football, and people hated that. Now if the game reaches OT, every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Not lacking aggressiveness here to begin overtime, Charles. A pretty big play right there, and looked like it might have caught the defense off guard. They may have been expecting something a little more conservative.
Yeah, they've got to shore things up in a big way, because they make any more mistakes like that and really let them drive it on them, they'll be putting their offense in a tough spot to answer if they want to extend their season.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Very nicely done there on the reception, and what an impact this rookie made on this offense, Charles, in the regular season.
Yeah, he's a big part of why they are where they are. He stepped into an important role, embraced it, and in a lot of ways expanded it, and immediately made a connection with his quarterback.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Well, how about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignment. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. It's Barkley on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up. They'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. And Charles, that touchdown alone doesn't win them the game anymore with the rule changes in overtime of the postseason, but they still went down, scored, got the job done, and now they put it in the hands of their defense.
And with the other side now guaranteed an overtime possession, getting that score was vital. The pressure is now on their opponent, and their defense, they have to play off the momentum the offense generated. One stop, and they end this game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. And CD, the pressure is on here. Only a touchdown on this series will prevent their season from coming to an end right here, right now.
And this is why the postseason overtime rules will change, partner, to afford teams an opportunity to respond in this type of a situation, because in the past, this game would already be over, and the losing team will be making off-season plans. Now they've earned their way into a postseason. They do get a chance to answer after the other team scores first.
Completes to the Joker. 7 yards there and a first down. So CD in the postseason, they obviously get the chance to answer that touchdown from a bit ago, but how do they set aside that pressure knowing that their entire season is coming down to this series?
What a great question, and I don't think that they set it aside. I think that they confront it, and they've done it throughout practice time in preparation for opportunities like this.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Meanwhile, Ritter's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Looking to throw once more. Here's Ritter. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Now a timeout called for by the offense. So we'll take a break with them and be right back. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Ritter. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. This is where the new rule comes into effect. In past years, this game's over. They've got a chance, though, to match touchdowns now. It's 1st down. Now a dump off here complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ritter. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Ritter throwing on 3rd down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. Well, here we go. Now it's gut check time. They need to convert here to keep the series and their season alive.
And obviously, this is their biggest snap of the season. And across the line of scrimmage, how about that defense? They feel exactly the same way. And they know they're 1 stop from celebrating a win themselves.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Well, the change in rules from the regular season to the playoffs at least gave both teams, Charles, an opportunity, but it turns out the team who scored first got the victory.
They certainly did, partner, but it wasn't as simple as getting a quick touchdown and calling it a day, because they need to stand out performance from both sides of the ball to earn this win in overtime, and they got it.